We're live right now.
Oh, we're live now.
Yeah, stop picking your nose.
I'm not picking my nose.
So let me find the.
I only
Nope,
do that in front of girls.
not that one. All right.
Such a shit. Yep.
So
I just
there's
got the
that.
alert on YouTube. How do you make it go to YouTube? I guess when you go live and you've linked it to your YouTube account, it just naturally goes to YouTube.
Close
I think I'll
that.
try this on one of my live streams someday.
So off to the side, I put my phone and I have the channel going, but I have the volume down, and then I can read some comments there because there's a much bigger delay, I think, viewing them on this screen here.
Well, wait a minute. I have a live comments. What the hell?
Yeah, I set it so you can see them, but they're not going to scroll as fast. It's not as good as what you're going to
Oh
see
wow,
on the
we got a bunch of people in here. TikTok.
44. But let's not look at the comments right now. Let's just talk for a second because
Okay.
I was kind of bummed out, but Dane came in and saved the day here, so we can still go live. Bruce and I were having some technical difficulties, so the topic that I wanted to talk to Bruce about can semi relate with Dane and I, although Dane and I have more common ground as far as watch taste. So the topic was going to be where my current level or my comfort level in the watch game is like the 1500 and less, definitely around the $500 range. And most my love right now is for the micro brands, which you share as well, but you also have some higher end watches. And that was what I was going to talk to Bruce about. So I think I can still talk to you about it as well.
Yes, I just don't. I don't talk about the higher end stuff that I own very much, mostly for, for one thing, people love to throw shade at that kind of thing, and also, I don't want to advertise some of these watches that I'm sitting on for security reasons. I mean, I'm probably not terribly hard to find, so that kind of thing. Although
Yeah.
I have a safe. But my comfort zone is right around where yours is. Probably at the moment, probably a little lower, probably the 1250 and down range. But 1500, I could see that. So yeah, I have rarely spent more than that on a watch. I could count that on one hand and probably have a couple fingers left over. I just, I have two kids. They're in college. I have expenses. I have bills. Dropping $3,000 or more on a watch at this stage of my life right now is not something I can take lightly. I mean, some people can. God bless you, but not for me. But I think you'd agree, Rob, that in the 1500 and down, I think you have more choices than you do once you cross the 1500, 2000 threshold. Your universe becomes that much smaller because there are not a lot of those watches to begin with.
I think the other big issue that I've discovered after owning so many is the diminishing return. And I think you've discovered that with your favorite brand, Zelos.
Mm-hmm.
Like the amount of watch or enjoyment you even get from the watch within the hobby, it like cuts off at a certain level. So you can spend $5,000 on a higher end luxury watch, or you can spend say $350 to $750 in that range. There's so much great out there that you don't really even need to go past that.
Oh, I agree completely. I mean, I can't tell you the amount of fun I've had buying and in a few cases modifying just a few, like the SKX. I have three of them.
Yeah.
One of them I got from you, the Thailand, which is a beautiful watch. I really enjoy wearing that.
Well, you got it through me, but you actually got it from Michael, technically, because I think that was our mutual friend Michael's watch, the SKA 65.
SKXA 65.
Yeah, something like that.
they're beautiful watch. I haven't touched it except I changed the band on it because I have this thing for collar ebb leather straps. I just love the way they smell when they come out of the package. But I have two other SKXs, and I just picked up what I call the ISKX, the Islander.
Yes.
And I've loved playing with those to get them to the color combination that I want. And between the four of those watches, I'm not even. I'm well under $1,000. I have full watches, and the bands, and the bezels, and whatever else I've done to them. I'm still well under $1,000.
Right.
And I can buy one watch for $1,000, or I can buy 4 watches and accessories for $1,000. And like you said, the economies of scale work out. You can have fun no matter what in this hobby, but you can have more fun for 4 for $1,000 instead of 1 for $1,000.
Yeah, and I think that's your mentality, my mentality, and a lot of people that we surround ourselves with. They share the same ideas in the hobby, but there are certainly a large group of people out there that are all about the quality over quantity type of approach to the hobby, and there's nothing wrong with that either. I can fully support that idea as well.
Yeah. Well, I plan on doing several videos in the near future now that my buying is slowing down for obvious reasons. I've got a whole bunch of watches over here to my left, and winders and cases and stuff and they're different price ranges, different brands. I'm itching to do some comparisons and see, how does a Zelos, how does a Zelos stack up against, I don't know if it would stack up against a Rolex exactly, but how would it stand up against an Omega?
Well, early on, I compared a lot of luxury watches to my Orange Monster, and they were all controversial, and I haven't done that in a long time, but you can compare those extreme tiers. I think you can still compare them as long as you take in consideration the diminishing return type of. I thought about actually getting out and doing the math on it, because I think you could do the math. A lot of them share the same exact materials, other than like say Rolex, where they're using the 904L steel. But a lot of the other brands are still using a 316 stainless steel case, right? So they have the same materials. So they have the stainless steel case, the sapphire crystal. A lot of brands are going to a sapphire bezel insert. So you can get that watch with those materials for $500 to $800, or you can spend thousands of dollars. So is it fair to compare the two? I kind of think it is.
It could be. What are you wearing today?
What do you wear?
I got an Omega Planet Ocean. This was my dad. It was my dad's. He wore this for quite a while, and then he got another Planet Ocean with the wave dial, and he said, "I'm going to loan you this one for a while to wear," and then he never asked for it back. But he will.
So is it a 42 millimeter Planet Ocean with the 2500 movement?
Yeah. It's the here, I'll take it off here.
I kind of lust after one of those. Yeah, that's hot. That's like, to me, that's like that's a killer.
Hang on. Excuse my reach. Is that better?
Yeah. Well, I can see your face better, but
this way.
Yeah. Oh, that is. Oh, it's. Oh my God! I think that's the one I really wanted too, because that's the transition one, isn't it? Where it has the ceramic bezel with the liquid metal insert. That's actually kind of a sought after Planet Ocean.
Yeah, that's why he won't give it to me. He just lets me wear it.
Yeah, that's the one. When I was looking at the Planet Ocean, that's the models I was looking at right there.
And the only thing I don't like about it is this clasp. There you go. This clasp, it's it's not exactly what you see how easy it is to. I mean, it's a double pusher,
Yeah.
but it's so easy to pop that damn thing, and it really bothers me, and it makes me a little paranoid.
There's probably some good aftermarket stuff you can get for that, or maybe even an
Oh
actual
yeah.
bracelet.
Well, it's a 21-inch lug width, so
it's messed up. So this is the Astor and Banks Sea Ranger, which is, I got it upside down, but and I haven't done the video on this. I did a video on a white dialed version of this a while ago. That was Homer's, and then I recently, in my buying fury that I'm in right now, I picked up a bunch of micro, and this was one of them. He gave me, the owner of the brand gave me a little bit better deal on it, but they're still running the sale on them. I think they're like $680 or something right now. But it's got the Swiss Solita movement in it. It's a really nice sized watch and good quality.
I'm taking the opportunity right now to I've backed 2 projects on Kickstarter. I'm sure you're familiar with both of them.
Hold on, let me guess.
Go ahead.
Is it Second? What's that brand? I already forgot.
Second Time? No, it's not that one.
No,
it's the Denso.
Oh yeah! Oh, I love that watch.
The
Dorenzo.
Dorenzo.
Yeah. Yep.
I backed that one, and I also backed the Heritage. The one with the dial, the one with the dial that goes from, it looks sort of white in the middle, and then it fades into a color.
Oh, I'm not familiar with that one.
I'll send you a link.
Okay.
It actually just backed, and it was successfully backed and funded a couple of days ago. So
perfect.
I'm supposed to get one into review, but Ivan's having a little bit of a problem with keeping up with a few things.
Yeah,
he's got a lot of irons in the fire, as you would say.
And they're all going to have that problem right now. And I know a couple of months from now, people are still going to be complaining about it. But I mean, everyone's going to have to be patient. We're going to have to feel for the brands. I think Clayton mentioned it. Iconic.
Iconic, yeah. Thank you, Clayton. Thank you.
So we're all going to have to be patient with the micro brands right now. There are some that still have inventory and are still slowly sneaking some inventory in, but a lot of the new stuff, or the proposed new stuff that is coming out, is going to be easily delayed 3 to 6 months, easily.
Well, as much as I hate to admit my major mistakes, I've been through the delay, and in one case, never shipped, and I got my money back, and that was with, I'll say it, Filippo Loretti. I made major mistakes with them. I learned a lot by those failures. So I understand the process with Kickstarter. But between those 2 and the 3 Zelos that I'm going to get, I budgeted for those. I'm keeping my eye on those watches, and I'm not really doing anything else unless something really crosses my path that I got to do. But
which happens like every other Sunday.
Yeah. You have to stay off your Sunday fun day because it makes me crazy.
Yeah.
But I enjoy the Sunday fun days quite a bit when I actually have something on there because I want to see if it goes.
Yeah. Oh, tomorrow it will. I have your package on the floor over here. I haven't even opened it yet, but.
Oh, terrific! I think those are 2 good-looking vintage.
They'll do well.
And I'm not asking a hell of a lot, so I think they'll go. And then if Chris ever gets that other one to you, but now he's playing with the idea of keeping it for himself. So I don't know.
He already has it, so he'll save on shipping. So
yeah, I already shipped it to him. So I shipped the kit with it. So. But that's where I'm at in terms of buying right now. I budgeted for the 3 Zelos that I knew were coming and that I want, and those 2 Kickstarters, and then that Feynman came across my. You'll see that video was up on Monday. Okay. I got a Feynman Eclipse. Oh God, the watch. It is such a nice watch.
Is it?
It is. It is. I'm very happy with it. Yeah. Hey, the guy who sent it to me doesn't know where it's going to go next. I'll ask him if I can send it to you
Yeah,
because
we can
it
check it
really
out.
is a really sweet dress watch.
Okay. Well,
Um,
dress watch is definitely not my forte, but I don't mind showing them on the channel because a lot of
no.
people do like them. So, and I just like to have that
Yeah.
information
It
out there so
really
people can see it.
it really is a nice design, and it feels good on the wrist. It feels good in the hand, and you know, very pretty watch.
Nice.
Um, and if I hadn't already committed to all of the things I've committed to, man, I'd love to have it. But
Tennessee Mike
maybe I'll.
is encouraging you to keep buying so that way he can get better deals on the used market.
Who?
Tennessee
Oh,
Mike.
Tennessee Mike. No,
For the people that don't
Uh,
know, like there's a bunch of the Patreons of my channel in the chat right now, and a lot of buying and selling and trading happens behind the scene that never even make it to the channels. It's just happening all the time on the behind the scenes. It's pretty funny.
yeah, that's how I ended up with my Islander. Who sold me the Islander? Jesus, my memory is bad. I was supposed to sell the bezel off the Islander to, I think, to Billy Bob, and the damn thing disintegrated itself coming off.
Yeah. Well, the one I had, I sold to Clayton. I think he kept it because he's a Lions fan. He's from Michigan.
Now
So I'm
what?
not sure who sold their Blue Islander to you. I can't keep track of all the transactions. It's pretty nuts.
If I went back on Discord and looked, it would come to me. But oh God, who was it? So
Oh,
embarrassing.
Bobby Leg says he did.
Bobby Leg, thank you. Jeez, I'm sorry, Bobby. I'm sorry. I'm an old man, and this isn't working anymore. So, yeah, it was Bobby Leg sold it to me, and then Billy Bob was going to buy the bezel insert, which is sapphire, and I did what I normally do with all the other bezel inserts. I did to get them off the bezel, and I soaked them for about 5 or 10 minutes in Goof Off, and it came off beautifully, but it took the paint with it.
Yeah, because all that's on the underside of it, which
You know,
removing
I don't think.
sapphire, if it's adhered really good, I think even if you were going to try the pry method, you'd probably crack the sapphire anyway.
Yeah, well, it didn't crack, but it took the paint. I mean, it didn't take it all off, but it took enough of it off that I showed a picture of that to Billy Bob, and I said, I can't sell you this. I can't. I wouldn't even give this to you. It's in such bad shape.
It's still pretty
So
cool looking.
yeah, it's really cool looking, but unfortunately the paint's ruined. But the insert I put in its place is really. I showed a picture of it on Discord. I really like the way it came out. It really looks great. And another nice thing that doesn't always happen, when I put the bezel back on and it clicked in,
Yeah.
it worked just as good as before.
Oh, nice.
So Mark put out, that's my first Islander, and evidently Mark put out a good product, because I've had SKXs where I replaced bezels and put the insert back on, and it's like Arnold Schwarzenegger couldn't twist the damn thing. I know I did something wrong, but I don't want to pry it off again, because every time I do that, I draw blood.
Yeah. There's some techniques I could probably share with you, but let's see. David Curtis wants to know when you're going to sell your SR-71 to him.
When I die. No,
So
they're going to.
whoever gets that in the will, well, you're going to want to contact them, David.
I have 4 ZX watches. I have the SR-71, I have the Damascus, I have the Spitfire, and my dad is letting me play with his ZX5 Bronze. All 4 of them are being buried with me.
Yeah, they're like crazy special. Those are like the elite. If you're the Super Zealous fan, if people that don't know, those are like the upper tier models. Those are not your run of the mill models.
No, the SR-71, I got really lucky on getting it, because I was very late to the party, and I was able to secure one, and I was able to sell other watches to get the funding to do that. So the watch is not only special because it's a rare, it's one of the rare Zealous watches, but it's also special to me because of the effort and the time that I put in to getting that watch and getting the money and doing it the right way, which is not going into debt, which you should never do.
I disagree.
Well,
A little bit of debt.
A little bit of debt, but you should. I mean, you shouldn't be taking out a home loan or anything.
No.
No, but a little bit. I mean, like right now, I'm paying. And I'm also telling you that I'm violating my own rule right there. I did use, because I think we all know PayPal has PayPal credit, where you can buy a watch and have like 0% interest for X number of months. And I've used that to pick up one of my watches, and I'm almost done with that payout.
I haven't signed up for that. Is that pretty easy to sign up for?
Yeah, it's just part of PayPal.
All right, I'm going to buy a watch tonight.
Oh God! Now
my PayPal's empty, but apparently they have credit.
So I'm a bad influence on you? Oh no.
No, it's fine. I always come out ahead on the end.
Yeah, I agree. But no, the ZX models I will not part with. Right now, I don't have a Zelos that I would part with. I parted with one recently, like last week. And that was the only one I was willing to part with. So
yeah, and you sent me a couple to sell too. The first gen Makos. Yeah,
I got 2 first gen Makos, and I was going to send you that first gen. Well, I sent you the first gen Hammerhead. Actually, you did sell it technically for me. That one with the one that the Blademeister Dirk he ended up with it. Yeah. So I remember you looked at the damn thing while you were reviewing it, and you said, "Oh, you sure you want to sell this?"
Yeah.
Yeah, titanium. I literally was not wearing that watch at all, and I looked at it and I said, "It's taking up space. I can't justify keeping it, especially when, for one thing, I knew Dirk wanted the damn thing. I mean, he had seen the video of it, and he was salivating over it, and I just could say, no, I don't want it. And then I said, you know what, I can't justify keeping it. So I sent it to you. You reviewed it, and then Dirk said, no, he was going back and forth about it, and he said, no, after your video, the review video, he said, no, I'm buying it. And as far as I know, Dirk is still very happy with it.
Yeah, and if he ever wants to let it go, I'd consider buying it off him. Yeah. I mean, I almost bought it from you, so.
Yeah, that's right. I offered it to you. I mean,
I can't buy every one that comes across. I see so many watches; it's absolutely insane.
I know, but it's not like I didn't offer it.
No, I appreciate it, and I know pretty much every watch that comes across this table that, if I want dibs on it, I'm sure I could swoop it up. But
I have no doubt. I mean,
I do the same thing. I can only wear so many.
You're offering a service to the rest of us. You should have the first shot at it.
Yeah. And I have bought many.
But the one I sold recently was a Sky Raider. One of their pilot watches. I had 2. I had the blue face titanium. It was actually serial number 1. And I sold it. I think I made money on that one. Only a little.
Yeah, that's rare.
but I still have the skeleton bronze, and that's the better one. So
So Kotak, I'm not sure if I said his name right, but he asked a question via Super Chat, so I'll go ahead and answer that. And I don't know that you've ever handled an NTH watch yourself, Dane, but I know I've handled many, and I've talked to both the brand owner and on a daily basis. Well, not daily, but at least once a week. Matter of fact, I talked to one of the authorized dealers of NTH, John, who owns WatchGauge. I talked to him today, and he's looking for an NTH model that I've neglected to buy in the past, and now they're out again. So I'm personally going to invest my own money in an NTH watch, like as soon as I can find one. And it's the NTH Nakin Antique white dial. It's like a lume dial. So I guess my opinion on an NTH watch is I think the NTH sub line of watches, which there's a ton of different colorways, is a great watch. It's extremely well sorted and will fit just about anybody's wrist. The only complaint I think that maybe people could have is that it is on the higher end of price for its category. It's like 650, 675, something like that. But you got to keep in mind the way it's distributed. There's additional fees on there because it's being sold through authorized dealers and stuff like that. So, but the NTH subs are great.
No, I've never seen an NTH in the flesh. The only time I've ever seen them, literally the only time I've ever seen them is on your channel. I mean, nobody else that I know. I'll take that up back. I believe TGV did a review of one.
Well, yeah, he has his own like special colorway of it that he did in collaboration with Chris.
Oh yeah, that's right. He did that like June of last year or something like that.
I think so, yeah. And I'm not opposed to doing one with them eventually, but they have to get. They're going to be in a supply issue here pretty soon or currently. So, yeah, they're definitely going to be bumming here. Like the models that are available right now, that's it. That's probably all you're going to see in 2020. You're not going to see new models come in 2020. You're going to have to wait till 2021. You're going to see that with a lot of brands.
Yeah, I was talking to Elshin about that same thing. By the way, he's okay. He's doing all right over there.
That's good.
It's not too terribly crazy over there right now, thank God. But he was talking about the dress watches have been pushed back into fall because they're using Swiss movements, and the Swiss guys have all shut down. I think the next ones that are coming after that are another flight of Horizons and another 42 millimeter GMT. I think those are still on track for a summer release because those are using Japanese movements, I think. Can't quote me on that exactly. He can be a little cagey at times, even, I don't blame him. And it's also funny, I just got an email earlier it was late yesterday. I have a watch that's being repaired. And it's one of the Swatch Group guys. And it's a Swiss watch. Actually, no, I'm sorry, it's German. And there's an indefinite delay on those watches. They've shut that whole repair facility in New Jersey has been shut down.
Interesting. So I've been talking to both a repair tech every other day or so at Saltzman's Watches, and I talked to Richard, the sales manager at Saltzman's Watches, and they're still taking some repairs. Like, so if you guys, I was going to do a video on this, but if people are looking to have some work done on a watch or something like that, there are some watchmakers that are currently working from home possibly, or maybe even in a shop, but only like one tech will go in. That way there's social distance, going on. So
the problem with this watch is, unfortunately, it's somewhat of a proprietary movement.
Oh, so you're kind of locked into that facility.
Yeah, I'm screwed. So,
which is a whole nother like serious topic. Like, you gotta potentially, like, if you're gonna own a watch for a long time, or it could potentially be a problematic watch even in a short time of ownership. And you've experienced this with I don't know if it's the same watch, but you just had a watch repaired that you were worried that was going to be a bigger problem than it was. It turned out good for you, from what I understand. But
that was the. Thank you, Blue Ram. I appreciate that. That Twin 60 is a fantastic watch. I really love. That's the one that I went into debt for. I'm almost paid off on that one, but yeah, actually, Rod, you're right. I had two watches that did that to me. One of them was a Zelos. That was the Spitfire that I waited 5 or 6 months for Elshin to make it and send it to me.
That's right.
And it came in magnetized.
Happens.
And yeah, it happens. I gave it to a local jeweler that my family's been working with for several years now, watchmaker, and he demagnetized it and sat on it for a week to make sure it responded well, and it's been running perfect ever since. I mean, literally dead on perfect. I have not had to adjust that watch once. The other one is definitely a proprietary watch. It's a company that you may not have ever heard of. It's this company out of Finland called Sarpaniva.
Not familiar with it.
Okay. Well, their output is somewhere in the double digits per year kind of
Oh
thing.
wow.
This is another one of the my dad's. My dad has he's got a collection and a half. He does. But the one thing about my father is at this stage of his life, if a watch goes sour on him, like the Sarpaniva did multiple times,
He gives it to you.
he doesn't have time for it. So he just doesn't want to bother with it.
Yeah.
So he gives them to me and he says, fix it, sell it, do something with it. And then we'll talk
He's done
again.
with it. Yeah, he's done
Well, with the Sarpaniva, once I got it fixed, I got it back. It failed again. I sent it back. It got fixed. It lasted about almost a year out of a 2-year warranty. It failed again.
with it.
And this time it was in the moon phase only. It's a moon phase watch.
Yeah.
It kept perfect time after the second repair, but the moon phase kept breaking teeth. I mean, I can't tell you how small these teeth are. They're ridiculous.
Where's this watch
And
from? Where's this watch from?
Finland. Each time
yes,
it breaks, it has to go to Finland.
Man.
So this time it's fixed and it's keeping very good time and dead on the moon phase.
Nice.
And I'll find out
a couple of comments here.
Tuesday.
Kotek is asking about the Yema Superman. I still have yet to see a Yema. They've contacted me. They were supposed to send me a watch, and like a lot of other brands, they contact me, say they're going to send a watch, and then it never shows up. So, yeah, if they would send me a watch, I can have a better perspective on what my thoughts are on the brand. Also, L Boogie says the Zin 104 H-Link bracelet is back in stock. So I'll go ahead and apply for that PayPal credit and order that as well as another watch.
You know, you did a watch recently. Oh God, what was the name of it? I forgot the name of it. It was a beautiful blue dial. I think it was a titanium case, although I'm not sure. But a striking blue dial.
I don't remember what it's called, but I have it right here. Because again, like a lot of micro brands, they send it to me. I tell them I'm only going to ship to a U.S.
Hang on, my screensaver just kicked in. Hang on. Are you kidding me? There we go.
So
yeah, let me see that one.
It's called a
that one. I was contacted by the owner.
Yeah.
What is his name? Whatever.
I don't know.
And we started talking back and forth about, I wanted to get my hands on it to review and so on and so forth, see if I'd back it and, work it into my budget. And we got to the point where, we were talking about, the conditions under which I would review it and that kind of thing. And we came to some kind of tentative agreement and he dropped off the face of the earth.
I'll send him another email, but he gave me like a Canada address to ship it to, and then dropped right off. Because I'm not going to do it for free. He's got to pay me to ship it. I'm not going to pay for the shipping.
At this point, I don't. At this point, I'm not going to chase it. If he doesn't want me to review, my channel is only 1,260 odd subs. But I reach a pretty good group of folks, and I think
but if I send this to you, then it's your problem. It's not my problem. So I like that option.
Okay, send it to me. Fine. I don't care. I'm sitting on.
I'll double check with him.
Yeah, I'm still sitting on. Somebody loaned me in a Vostok. Let me see something here real quick. Did I put that video up yet? No, I haven't put the Vostok video up yet. But somebody sent me a Vostok. Actually, it was Ivan, the same guy who does the Iconic.
Okay.
I've enjoyed the hell out of playing with that monster, but it's time to send it away, and it's like he doesn't know where it's going to go next. So he said, "Sit on the damn thing."
Yeah,
so
well, sometimes that's how you end up with a watch.
Yeah, and he sent me the full kit. So if I end up with a 48 millimeter Vostok, I end up with a 48 millimeter Vostok. It's a hell of a watch. It's really good looking piece, and I wouldn't mind keeping it.
I still have a watch here that somebody bought on the Sunday sale, I think his name is Sam or something. He bought it. It's the Stratton that he bought from another fellow patron, Craig. And you know the process. It's very simple. When I do these sales, is I tell them, pay, show me that you proof of payment, and then give me a mailing address, and then I'll mail it, and then you can reimburse me the shipping cost.
Right. So
Well, he never gave me the mailing address, and I keep emailing him like every other day, and I never hear back from him. He's already paid for the watch. It's his watch. It's just sitting here. What am I supposed to do?
oh, he'll either figure it out or he won't. But like I said, if you want to send me that blue watch and make it not your problem anymore, you got my address. Send it on over.
Yeah, I'll hit him. I'll tell him that I'm sending it to you, and then you cannot ship it to Canada later. And then you'll have the Vostok and this watch.
Yeah, I just sent a watch to Canada today. It ain't cheap.
No, it's not, and it is what it is. Like, yeah, it'll be like to send from the U.S. to Canada in a reasonably sized box is typically going to be like $40 or $50.
Yeah, it was $50. I sent it in the medium-sized priority mailbox.
Yeah,
I had lying around. It's the only thing I had that would fit. So, but the other guy paid for the shipping, so that's fine. And if you want to send me that one and it becomes my problem, and he wants me to send it to Canada, I said, fine. PayPal me $50. I'll send it wherever the hell you want.
Yeah. Well, I still have the Canada address. I can send it in the box, and then you can just deal with it. But I'll reach out to him tomorrow. We'll deal with it tomorrow.
No hurry. Let's talk about something more pleasant. Yeah.
Well, there are a ton of watches that are supposedly going to be released this year that I am certainly excited about. They're the Notice brand watches. They have retro specs that they're building right now, so those will be put out. So people will be able to buy those. That's a really good entry-level Notice. I talked to the owner at Trosca.
I'm going to grab myself a bottle of water. I'm going to leave the mic on. I won't. Just go ahead, but
Okay.
Get some water.
There goes Dane.
Well, I'm at home,
Let's look at some comments here. I don't know if it
My
was
throat's dry. Come on, man.
So let's see. If anybody watched the live stream on Instagram, I think it was yesterday or last night. Yeah. The one of the Notice guys was on a live stream with the Worn and Wound guy. I'm super bad with names. It might have been Wes.
I just subscribed to that channel. It's a pretty good channel.
Yeah, so he actually shared the new Notice Contrail 2 version 2.0, and that'll be coming out. I don't know if it'll happen this year or not. So there's a lot of really good micro brand stuff in the works once all this stuff settles down. So I think Bobby Legs likes your legs, Dane. We got to see a shot of your legs as you were walking away.
Oh well,
those are some Florida legs,
the
right?
rest of me. Yeah. They used to be so much tanner.
Yeah, can't go outside. Let's see. Somebody asking about talk tours. I'm assuming you're talking about watch tours. So a lot of people don't know what a watch tour is.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, so I've changed it in the past when I was running tours. Everybody put their share of cost into the watch. It was divided up amongst like 10 people, and then everybody got to see it for like a week. The way I'm currently doing tours on my Patreon group through Discord mostly is when I get a watch for free or something like that, I'll just automatically send it out on a watch tour. So my trusted members in the Patreon are partaking in many watch tours right now.
I'm on three.
There's
a Hammerhead.
Yeah.
Which is almost over.
2 Nazumis.
Yeah, 2 Nazumi. I'm on that one.
And the Laco.
I missed the Laco, but then again, I was never really a fan of that watch anyway. But
Yeah.
the Nizumi, you did the review of the Nizumi. That I said, man, I'd love to get my hands on those two.
Yeah.
And then there's the Glycine, which
And
was
the
the only
Glycine
one.
was a paid one.
Yeah, and I'm one of the last people to get that, and I think it was Dirk is running that one, and he told me that one should be on its way to me now.
Oh, okay.
But he didn't have a tracking number from Neil, and because Neil isn't on Discord or Facebook, we can't really communicate with him very much. So I can't. You can.
Oh, Pete said the Boulder too. I forgot about the Boulder. I just sent that out too.
Oh yeah, that's brand new. That one hasn't even started moving yet, as far as I know. Yeah, I'm on that one too. That's gorgeous.
And the only way I can do this many, because in the past I was running it. So what I've done now to alleviate that, to be able to throw so many out there in these watch tours in my Patreon group, is I assign a ringmaster or a volunteer to be a ringmaster to each tour, and then they take control over it, and then they can run it. I don't have to worry about it anymore. I can just keep doing my thing.
Yeah, I think I'll have to jump into being a ringmaster. I've been a little slack, so next one, if there's another one coming, I'll and it's a watch I'm interested in, I'll definitely volunteer to be a ringmaster.
Okay, I have a couple really good ones coming up, and I'll maybe slot you in for the next volunteer spot.
Where you get?
Top secret.
That surprised me.
Top secret. Well, one of them is a Trosca. I'm not sure if and when I'm going to get it, but so I have like potentially 3 of those inbound, and then of course I have a Notice. But some of these I've bought. So, but even though I've bought them, I might integrate them into a watch tour, just something that is not going to be given away at the end. It's just so that everybody can experience it, and it'll return back to me because it's my personal watch.
Content. Don't forget the content.
And it's content, yeah, because there's actually, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like 5 YouTubers in my Patreon group. I think there's at least 5. And potentially more because, if people want to start a channel, I'm all about it.
And go find my channel, SaleenDriver, on YouTube, please.
Yeah.
Like, share, subscribe.
So, yeah, after this is done, I'll put a link in the description to Dane's channel, of course. It's SaleenDriver.
Much appreciated.
Yeah. Which you've just recently started to kind of take off, so that's good to see that. And you're doing steady content.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of videos. I got one is scheduled for Monday, and I've got 6 on the iMac waiting to be uploaded. So for now, I got content.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I want to try and do some more live streams, at least try and entertain myself. Yeah.
Well, live streams are good to do some interaction with people. We have 64 people, I think, or 62, whatever they're dropping off. But we have people watching. There's a lot of people staying at home right now, so they're looking for entertainment. Maybe they're not wanting to sit down and watch another episode of whatever their show is. I've been watching Lucifer, but
I took advantage of the CBS All Access being free for a month, and I watched the entire series of Picard, and because I love Star Trek. I'm a big Star Trek, Star Wars, Babylon 5, that kind of thing, especially Babylon 5. I was, Picard was nice, nice little romp through memory lane, if you will, but
Yeah.
So I'll watch the second season of Discovery.
Yeah, you start to kind of, I know there's no way we can watch everything that's out there, but like you start to just kind of get burned out. So Bobby Smith says, as a question for you, Dane, do you have a Saleen? Go ahead and answer that question.
Should I be sarcastic? No, I don't want to spike the poor guy.
Yes, no, you have a Saleen, but it's a little bit more than just a Saleen.
Yes, I have a Saleen Mustang. It's a 2000. That's the 9904 body style. It's called the New Edge. I bought it actually on the 15th of this month. I will have been 20 years that I've owned that car.
That's insane.
I bought it brand new off the showroom floor in Marietta, Georgia, Team Ford of Marietta, when I was living in Metro Atlanta, and it had 12 miles on it. And when I signed the paperwork, 7 of those 12 miles were my test drive, which scared the hell out of the sales guy, I can tell you. I had a lot of fun with that car. But that car has been through a lot. The entire drivetrain has been replaced. It was definitely not the car that I bought. It has an 03 Terminator Cobra motor in it, so it's making a lot more power than before. It has a 6-speed transmission from D&D Performance. The rear end is the only piece of the drivetrain that's still stock. The interior's been gone through. The exterior is pretty much the way it came. But it's a great toy. I am embarrassed about the amount of money that I put into that car and spent on it. I think I probably bought the car twice at this point.
Yeah, but the longer you own it, the more you're going to get out of it.
No,
so excuse
actually,
my ignorance. The rear end
I won't
on
get
that,
anything value out of it. I can tell you that much.
Well, no, not like monetary, not when you go to sell it or whatever like that. But
No.
Okay. So like the rear end in the Saleen though, is it a live axle or is it the Cobra independent?
No, okay, well, the Cobras, okay, it's a live axle.
Okay.
The Cobras, 99, 01, 03, 04 were the years of the Cobra for that body style. They all got independent rear suspensions. Those suspensions are disasters.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, in a factory setting, they're good. They're good enough. But I'll tell you a little story. I was a local drag strip that's near where I live, and there was a guy there with an 03 Cobra convertible. It had the Terminator motor in it, which was a supercharged 4.6 liter, and he had just put 373 gears, 3.73 ratio gears, which is an upgrade from the 306 or 327. 327. Anyway, he was testing, he was doing a testing tune. And he had drag radials on the car, which was real sticky. They're still streetable, but they're really sticky tires.
Okay.
And with between those tires and the track prep that they do with the VHT, you can get a lot of horsepower to lock up and grab and go.
And break something.
The problem was, and he was launching fairly soft just to get a feel for the car. And he decided to try to launch hard one time with that independent rear suspension and those drag radials and a sticky surface. And everyone around him, including me, was saying, don't do it. That the IRS, the independent rear suspension, the IRS isn't strong enough because he hadn't upgraded it. And you can buy upgrades for it. They're just ridiculously expensive. And he said, no, I'm going for it. I'm going to, well, now we say I'm going to send it. But back then they didn't say that. And we said, don't do it. Don't shoot it. Oh, no, don't. And he did it. And he got about 10 feet off the line. And that thing, and it hooked. And he got about 10 feet down the track. And you heard what sounded like 15 shotguns go off. And he blasted the right side half shaft that comes from the pumpkin to the wheel. Yeah. Snapped and blew right through the floor of his trunk.
Oh, so he had like structural damage too.
Yeah, he totaled the car. He had structural damage to the frame, what frame there is on these modern cars. He ripped the rear end apart. The pumpkin was torn apart. Oh. He ripped the right side suspension off. He went right through the floor of the trunk, and then the thing kind of went like that. So he shredded sheet metal from the middle of the trunk to the edge.
See, I like to buy cars like that.
Yeah, he blew out the fender because the tire ripped out. The tire wheel went like that, ripped out the fender, and he dumped rear end fluid all over the track, and then he overrevved the motor, and he probably torched the motor.
That's a bummer. But I don't know, those motors were overbuilt though. I think the motors.
Yeah, but not when you launch from the 9,000 RPM, they won't.
No.
They have a red line of like 6,800. I have one. I know.
Yeah. But there's it's such a strong motor. It's one
Yeah,
of
it's
those
a great
classic cases
motor.
where Ford really did overbuild that engine.
Yeah, they used was it Mahle, Mahle, Mahle,
I think it's
bottom
Molly or
end.
something.
Yeah, they used the Mahle bottom or Mahle. They
It's all
used that bottom end
yeah, it's
because
all
they didn't have
forged crank, forged rods,
yeah,
all that stuff.
and the pistons because remember they were using Ford had gone years ago to the hyperuterics powdered metal.
Okay.
You know, they take powdered metal and they bond it to the shape of whatever they want.
Yeah, so they
And
can't
those
take
things
forced
ain't gonna
induction.
handle it. Yeah, they can't take anything like that. So they went to the aftermarket to get the parts they needed to make that car survive. And we all know they were grossly underrated. Pardon me. I mean, 390 horse. The cars were making 425 from the factory at the crank.
So hopefully, I don't know what your season is for like taking your car out, but at the bare minimum, I'll be able to physically see your car. Hopefully, when I come down, because I'm still slotted
Yeah. Well,
to visit your area in Christmas of this year.
yeah. There's no off season for cars in Florida.
I know. I don't know why I live there, but
Yeah, Florida is it's 365 days a year. You can drive whatever you want. There's no and December in Florida is a dry season, so you can wash your car, you can wax it, and have it look real good, and it's not going to get rained on because right now we're coming into our wet season. Another month or so, it's going to rain every day. Where I live, it'll rain every day 4 o'clock because of the afternoon heating. You got that warm air coming off the Gulf, got that warm air coming off the inland part of the state, and they meet right at about where I live. The two air masses meet, and they blow 50,000-foot clouds.
So you can count on it almost every day.
You can set your watch by it.
Wow.
And it's this weird kind of rain where I have literally seen it. This is a true story. You talk to any West Coast Floridian, they will tell you that this is true. I have seen it literally rain in my front yard, bone dry in my backyard.
You got a defined line of just precipitation and no precipitation.
And it will rain right over you, and 2 blocks away, the sun's out. And you can walk the 2 blocks, and you can see the rain coming. It's a gray wall coming right at you. And I've been at car shows where I've watched these rain clouds. They'll come and they'll come and they'll come and then they'll shift, and they'll miss the show, or they'll come and they'll come and they'll shift and they'll hit the show. Yeah. And you never know what you get.
That's crazy.
So that's Florida.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to spend my Christmas down there again. I did that a few years ago, and I really enjoyed it. So.
Well, hopefully the travel ban is lifted and everything's back to normal by then, and
it should be by then.
Come on down. Buy your seafood. Oh wait, you don't eat seafood.
No. I like seafood. I'm good with fish and shellfish and all that stuff.
All right. I eat everything, so probably too much of it.
Nah, you good.
I'm trying. I broke my craving for desserts.
Oh yeah, this being at home for the last 2 weeks has not been good for me. So
yeah, it's I make sure that I get up, I get my fat ass up, and I go for a walk outside. A lot of people out in my neighborhood. I live in a development that's been around and where I live for decades. I mean, it's well developed old neighborhood, and where I live in Florida is heavy on the senior citizens, of which you can see because
right.
I'm almost there myself. A lot more people out walking and riding their bikes than there ever were before. I don't recall seeing this many people walking around the neighborhood or jogging. There goes my screensaver again.
You got one job to do. Just keep your screen active, and you can't do it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No problem.
Old facto. What can I say? Yeah, there's a lot of people out and about. They're maintaining their social distancing and all that. You know what? I've been seeing more and more to that I just don't understand. I don't get this at all. The people are wearing masks and gloves in their car. Are you kidding me?
They don't want to catch the virus while they're driving around.
You're in your car. The windows are up. I mean, it's already warm enough here that people have kicked on the air conditioners.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to see 90 tomorrow, probably.
Oh, man.
But you're in your car, guys. You're in your car, gals. You know, by definition, you're social distancing. You can take the mask off. Come on.
Yeah, probably. It's going to get really weird for.
What are you doing?
Yeah, probably for a few weeks still, hopefully, and then hopefully we'll get back to some kind of normal. I think it'll flip like a switch too. I think a lot of people will resort back to their old ways pretty quick.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that I'm praying for is please don't interfere with college football. I mean, you can take hockey. I love my hockey. You can have the damn NBA. I could care less. You can even take away my NASCAR, my F1. But please.
When does college start?
College, it should have already started. They should have had their spring practice and their spring games this month. But that's all done. They've canceled recruiting. Nobody can recruit across the entire college football landscape until the end of May.
Well, I think you pretty much have your answer then.
The drop dead date they think is July 4th. If they can't get something going by July 4th, there's not going to be a season. I got to tell you, the way the schedule lined up, and we have the players on my team, my Gators.
Yeah.
I think we were finally going to get over the Georgia Bulldog hump. Sorry,
well,
Tennessee.
They're gonna,
we're taking out your balls.
We're going to get back to normal as quick as possible. I know that. And if you keep up on it, yeah, it's gonna be resolved pretty quick as possible.
Anyway, I wanted to loop around back to one thing because I don't think I answered the guy's question. What is a Saleen Mustang? A Saleen Mustang, very simple answer. Back in the day, back when the Mustangs were brand new, you all probably heard of Carroll Shelby. Shelby came up with the idea of buying Mustangs, pardon me again, sending them out to his factory in, I think it was California, modifying them, and then selling them back to Ford for resale. In 1984, a road racer and race partner of Ford named Steve Saleen came up with the idea of doing the same thing with the modern Mustangs, the at the time, the 1984 Mustang, the Fox bodies. And he sold Ford on the idea, and he came up with 3 Mustangs that year in 1984. There were only 3 produced. I know the guy that owns all 3 of them. He is the nicest guy you ever want to meet. His name is Stu Akers. He owns all 3, and that's where the Saleens came from. They're Mustangs that are bought by Saleen Motorsport, sent out to California or Michigan, depending on where Saleen was at the time, modified to whatever extent they are modified, sold back to Ford for resale. You have Saleen, you have Roush, Steeda, Shinoda,
McLaren,
and Sean Highland are all 5 of the modern Mustang tuners. But
what about
Saleen
McLaren? Or no?
No, McLaren. Okay, the AC McLaren was with Mercury Caprice.
Oh, okay.
But that doesn't really count because ASC McLaren was only lopping the tops off.
Yeah.
And
raking it back a little bit.
Yeah, they didn't do much to the cars. They just made them convertibles.
Okay.
Yeah, but the ASC McLaren Capris are very rare. But believe it or not, there's 2 of them running around where I live.
There's a couple up by me too. I've found them in people's garages and talked to the people. So.
Yeah, but I've had my Saleen since April 15th, 2000. I love it. It's been to multiple states. It was a daily driver for 7 of the years that I've owned it. Right now it's basically a toy, but just as recently as last November, 2019, I drove it through 5 states: Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee. About 1,800-mile round trip, including multiple runs on the tail of the Dragon, or just the Dragon. up and down the Shenandoah Skyway. All Hellbender 28. Had a blast, man. On my channel, not to give myself a shameless plug, but it'll be the last one, I promise. On my channel, if you're interested, I have a walk around video of the car if you're interested in it. And I also have a little further back in the archive, I have video of a run up the drag, well, either up or down, depending on how you look at it. I have a full dragon run, the full 17 minutes that it takes to run the dragon from Deals Gap all the way to the end in Tennessee.
I haven't watched that yet. I've watched a couple of your videos where you were like with like a Mustang meet too. You did a couple of videos like that.
Yeah,
too.
car shows. Yeah,
car shows,
actually, one of those got demonetized. Somebody
why.
was playing music in the background, and I can't edit it out, so no big deal. But if you're interested in my car, and why not? It's a beautiful machine. Or you're interested in seeing what the tail of the dragon looks like, and maybe going there yourself someday, check those videos out. I think you'll enjoy them.
That's probably going to be one of my first trips as soon as all this chaos is over. Is I'm probably actually going to take a quick trip, a long weekend to Tennessee, and hopefully maybe meet up with a couple people. Jerry, the 3D printer guy that is on our Patreon, he's just across the border in North Carolina or something. But hopefully I'll be able to get down there. I want to go check out a couple things down there.
I wonder if Jerry lives near the dragon itself. But,
he does. He's very close to it.
If I lived anywhere close to the dragon, I would be all over. I would be there all the time,
nonstop.
Great place to stay if you're. I've always stayed at the Fontana Village Resort. It's a really nice place. Just the restaurant is kind of average, but
yeah,
what can you do?
I'll probably stay near Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge area, and then travel from there or something. We'll see.
It's a good place to be. That's a good place. The Blue Ridge Mountains are beautiful.
Oh, I absolutely love it.
Beautiful. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10. Yeah. And if you're a motorcycle guy, the Dragon is a must-do. Absolutely. And springtime is the best time to do it because the roads are actually clean. The Sling Club of America usually does it in the fall because the motorcyclists have all gone home. But you have the problem of a lot of leaves on the ground. And leaves on the ground are sort of sketchy. You hit a patch of those the wrong way, and a lot of these Mustangs are solid axle. They're live axles. They get tail happy real quick.
Yeah.
A good patch of wet leaves will make your car swap ends. And if there's a cliff on one side of you and a mountain on the other side of you, and you're in this little piece of road in the middle, and your rear end decides to come around looking for, conversation.
There's not much runoff.
The pucker factor is going to be, very high, very high.
Yeah. The only time I was driving cars at that level were at actual racetracks. So
I've done a couple of racetracks in the Saleen. I'll never do it again. I had the living daylight scared out of me the last time I was on a track. I won't do it again because when you have a car going 120 miles an hour in a straight line and your engine shuts off, and when your engine shuts off, in my particular car, your power steering shuts off, and because of the thing called Hydro Boost, your power brakes are gone. Because those engines don't produce enough vacuum, so there's no brakes. So I'm going 120 miles an hour down a drag strip, and my engine turns off, and it won't turn back on. I have no steering and no brakes, or some brakes, but I had to stand. I gave myself a shin splint trying to get that car stopped. And I said to myself, I have too much to live for this garbage.
Yikes.
And and if I told you what shut that car off, you'll laugh. It's a piece of string.
Yeah.
About that long. Piece of string got sucked in to the boot that connects my air filter to my mass airflow sensor housing.
Yeah.
Had developed a gap about that big, about half an inch, and a piece of string got sucked in. And wrapped itself around one of the two sensor wires, and the computer couldn't read the air flowing over the wires
That's crazy.
to tell it how much fuel to put into the motor. So the computer said, I can't read any airflow, so I can't send gas.
No air,
so
no fuel.
Yeah, no air, no fuel pumps, no nothing.
Wow.
Piece of string almost cost me my life, so ain't worth it.
Well, I think I'm going to sign off. I usually peter out about an hour anyway, so I appreciate you
I talk too much.
saving the live stream for me, though, because we couldn't get Bruce to work out, but it worked out good talking to you, Dane. I appreciate you signing in and sharing some watch talk, car talk, all that good stuff. Florida talk, too.
I think I love to talk too much. I think I'm too much of I think I enjoy live streams too much.
No, we'll do some more. Unfortunately, I go on call, and I'm going to be working next week, so I probably won't be doing live streams, but shortly after that, I'll get back on it.
Well, guys, I'll do some live streams through my channel, so keep an eye out for that on my channel, SaleenDriver. Stop by. We'll talk. We'll have the little chat thing going over there. Everything's reversed. So yeah, I appreciate you letting me on. I have a lot of fun when I do these things, and I got the equipment for it. So what the hell? Might as well use the damn thing. I mean, it costs me money. Might as well use it, right?
Yep. So thanks, Dane. I'll talk to you on the Discord chat in a little bit.
All right.
All right. Bye.